Eminent leaders and thinkers in the cancer community came together in early June at the American Society of Clinical Oncology annual meeting, or ASCO, for a first-of-its-kind roundtable event. The session, sponsored by Amgen and its Breakaway from Cancer initiative, was designed to highlight potential areas for improvement throughout the spectrum of cancer care and inspire action by establishing several calls to action for the cancer community and health policymakers. The roundtable event featured leaders from each of the 4 Breakaway from Cancer partner organizations, distinguished community and academic oncologists, Drs. Lee Schwartzberg and John Marshall, and special guest speaker Patrick Dempsey, actor and founder of the Patrick Dempsey Center for Cancer Hope and Healing, who joined the meeting virtually via video conference. The event was moderated by Susan Denser, editor-in-chief of Health Affairs and contributor to PBS NewsHour. Discussion at the event focused on each stage of the cancer continuum, including prevention and screening, delivery of and access to quality cancer care, and patient support and psychosocial services. This podcast, which is the first in a 4-part series, will provide an introduction to the roundtable participants, their background, and their view on the importance of the event. The final podcast will present 10 mandates for change, endorsed and ratified by the partner organizations, which will form a roadmap for future advocacy efforts on behalf of people living with cancer.
We're here to talk about the topic of cancer in the broadest possible sense, the whole spectrum of considerations, from preventing cancer all the way through the spectrum of care.
Patient Advocate Foundation solves access problems for patients one at a time. We help pay the bills. We become the business manager of your disease experience. I think the Roundtable is a magnificent opportunity for patients and doctors to see that there's such a beautiful continuum of support for their patients by coming to the nonprofit organizations represented on this panel today, from the point of prevention with Bo Aldige's organization to a point of cancer support in the community with Kim Thibodeau's organization. Our organization is going to solve those financial issues, and then you're going to get to Tom's organization, which is going to be dealing with survivorship. Each of these organizations lends a helping hand to the fabric of recovery and wellness throughout your life.
The Prevent Cancer Foundation is celebrating a real milestone this year. It's our 25th anniversary. For 25 years, we have tried to extend our mission, which is cancer prevention and early detection through research, education, and community outreach. I think the Roundtable would like for people to understand that there are resources available to them at every stage along this continuum that we call cancer, from prevention to survivorship, and that we're here to help them. I hope what people will take away from us is an understanding that if you're diagnosed with cancer, you're not in it alone. And even if you're not diagnosed with cancer, if you're a healthy person, you are at risk for getting cancer.
The Cancer Support Community is a national organization that represents the merger of 2 other organizations. In 2009, we merged the Wellness Community and Gilda's Club to form the Cancer Support Community. We're now the largest cancer support organization in the country. We've got 50 centers across the country where we are doing support groups, educational programs, nutrition, exercise. So all these services are free for all people with cancer and their family members. This roundtable is a critical discussion to show that we as advocacy organizations are working together in partnership, because the truth of the matter is healthcare is complicated. Cancer is complicated. 12 million cancer survivors in the country. We want to show folks, we want to show doctors, nurses, patients, families, that they don't have to face cancer alone, that there are free resources, there is education, and that, I think most importantly, there is hope in the face of a cancer diagnosis.
I'm the President and CEO of the National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship. And I'm an 11-year prostate cancer survivor, and I've actually, in my family, seen the entire continuum of cancer care. I lost my mom to lung cancer when she was 51 years old, and my dad, who was a prostate cancer survivor for a long time, succumbed to brain cancer in 2004. So in my family, I've actually seen diagnosis, treatment, end-of-life care, and managing of care for someone across the entire continuum. Out of the roundtable discussion tonight, I expect that we are going to show the types of care that is available across the entire continuum. I think that we will really hopefully set the scene for what are the kind of changes that are needed in order to have patient-centered, coordinated, and comprehensive care available to all cancer patients.
Cancer has an enormous impact on individuals, their families, and society. In 2009 alone, approximately 1.5 million Americans were newly diagnosed with cancer. The entire landscape of healthcare in the United States is undergoing a legislation-inspired metamorphosis, creating both challenges and opportunities for cancer patients, their caregivers, and healthcare professionals. Breakaway from cancer partner organizations agree that cancer care in the U.S. needs to continue to evolve in order to achieve greater balance and help ensure patients receive the best possible care across every stage of their journey.
This is a really critical time with the implementation of healthcare reform, with the implementation of new technologies for health information technology. We've never had an opportunity to really fix the system of care and to make it into a system when it hasn't been for so many years. So if we do the right things now, if we make the right decisions, if the folks who are making these policy changes listen to the patient advocates, then we will really have an impact on the quality of life and the quality of care for patients who are dealing with cancer.
Founded in 2005 by Amgen, Breakaway from Cancer is a national initiative to increase awareness of important resources available to people affected by cancer, from prevention through survivorship. Breakaway from Cancer represents a partnership between Amgen and 4 nonprofit organizations dedicated to empowering patients and caregivers through education, resources, and hope. The next podcast in the Striking the Balance series will focus on the discussion surrounding cancer prevention,